Tappa Film Production House. It is Tappa Film Production House. Tappa Film Production House. Tappa, 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 tappa. Film Production House. Tappa Film Production House. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? It's the real, the real, the real, the real, the real. The real. The real. The real, the real, the real. What's up, you set? What's up, Purple Step? Yo, 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 yo. How's it going? We got pan, panning, sup panning, sup tilting, sup tilting, sup pedestal, sup pedestal, sup truck, truck. Yo, Matthew, what's up? Roll to a Dutch, roll to a Dutch, close up, extreme close up. Yo, I got real Viking dude up in the place to be. What's going down? Got a lot of activity right early. I love that. I love that participation. Yo, shout out to all you. Shout out to the real Purple Step. Shout out to the real Matthew. Shout out to the real you set. Shout out to the real Kevin. Shout out to the real Caden. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you over here. Yo, great to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining so early on. Yesterday was quite a bit of a nightmare show. You know, it was quiet on the YouTube for a while because I forgot to hit the unmute button. So, you know, when you're doing this kind of thing, it's tough because, you know, most of the time you're the owner operator doing just about everything. You're directing your talent, you're the TD, the technical director, all that good stuff. So it's hard to kind of think of everything that you have last minute to get done. Oh man, I just saw this thing drop. My daughter made this nice little bracelet for my wife, the great mother of our family. This is a little beaded bracelet. Hope you guys got to treat your mothers well on Mother's Day. Didn't really give enough of a shout out to mothers because mothers deserve, you know, this accolade all day long. All day long, they work so hard for us, especially in this condition that we're in. They are our heart and soul. But yo, it's wonderful to see you guys. You know, the majority that are up here, I'm seeing great work that's being produced, and I will be releasing a new assignment so that way we keep you guys active and stuff like that. However, you know, feel free to like try to reach out to other the real accounts and give them critiques or give them a message, be like, hey, what's up, we haven't seen much work, so I'd love to see you get involved, because we are in this kind of like virtual exquisite corpse, so to speak. An exquisite corpse was a type of art that was done back in the Dada era, a little post-surrealism, right, where artists would actually make things and then they would pass it off to other artists to do something else. So like if I was an artist, made, let's say, the earlobe, and then I passed it off to the real Caden, and Caden made the top of the ear. And then like, let's say the real Yusette made the sideburn, right? And then let's say the real Matthew made like the strap, right? And then let's say, you know, Purple Step made the mustache. Yeah, I left that for you. But you know, eventually building a body or a corpse or a piece of art. So the exquisite corpse is something that you pass along as artists, and it's cool because you get inspiration from different perspectives that you might not have thought about. So this is kind of like a virtual exquisite corpse, the real being the venue, and as a real artist, REEL, you are part of this whole search engine, right? We are building a virtual sculpture, so to speak, an ethereal sculpture. The reels, building and building and building, webbing out, and hopefully eventually being like stream to stream to stream. So let's say I'm doing the real Marcoux, let's say Purple Step's on at 12. I could say, hey, tune into the Purple Step right after the real Marcoux. And then it goes on to the Purple Step. And then from Purple Step, it goes on to the real Franlism or the real Matthew or the real Caden or whoever. And it just keeps on rolling, right? Eventually, we're just creating this body of work. And you might think like, well, I don't have many followers or anything like that. But that's not what it's about, right? It's about expressing your truth, getting it out there, you know, well beyond the fact that we might be gone someday. You know, our spirit lives on through our words and through like taking it to heart, whatever we do say and project out there. So really think about, how you're emoting right now. And, you'll look back and you'll see these as virtual sketchbooks and you'll say, oh, that was the place that I was back in the quarantine era. This is an era that we're going through, and hopefully we can innovate the art movement as we speak and do, right? But big emphasis on the do, right? So, send some inspiration out that way. If you feel like you're like, oh, I'm beyond my assignments or I don't like this assignment, do your own. I can't emphasize that enough. Make the real distant your term here, right? Make something new. The real distant stream, the real distant gaming, the real distant this or that. Make up your own. That's eventually what we're going towards with these concentration reels. I want you to take on this portfolio and make it your own. Express yourself. Who are you as an artist? What's the next movement? I would like to know from you, as opposed to like people who are just reinventing the wheel, because it's all been done, right? But if we bring it together in a new kind of perspective, we can really make some things happen. It's been a pretty interesting week last week. Actually started doing some like personalized drawing lessons on Zooms and stuff like that. So that's been a pretty encouraging thing, is seeing how to adapt to the given um, situations that we're in to try to make new business happen, right? Um, Additionally, I'm trying to think of like what are other ways that I can like safely go out and about and make the video work that I've always wanted to make. So at like kind of like this weird kind of meandering meditative point in my artistic career, and I'm trying to think, with the space that I have, it's time to make more content, right? If the work isn't there, then start digging deep into your virtual sketchbooks and start pulling out ideas that you maybe have left aside for a moment and say, hey, can I reinvent this? Can I put something out there right now so that way I'm building up my content, right? Because that's the most important thing, right? It's not about followers who thinks I'm cool or whatever like that. It's about the content. And through time, if your content gets better and better, it becomes valuable. And then down the line, you might see that you're getting sponsors, or you're getting people that are like, wow, this person really made sense. So just practice, get your digital push-ups in. Get your digital push-ups in. A good way to do that is keep your story active, especially on IG. I noticed that you tend to lose followers or attention if there's nothing in your feed. So a story is a great way, because another thing is it goes dead in 24 hours. So you can kind of like put things out there that you might not feel so confident about, but it's a good way of like testing out the market, testing out your followers to see, hey, are people viewing these things, or are people just skipping by? Because you can see that. You can see if they just skipped by your picture. And if that's the case, then maybe like that certain picture is maybe not your primary direction. Maybe it just needs more work, right? But if you post like 5 different things in your story and you see which one got the most like staying power of your viewers, then maybe that's the direction that's going to get you what you want to achieve, whether it be business minded, or hey, if you want followers, go for followers, but really that doesn't mean much yet. You want quality followers, not quantity followers, right? Quality over quantity, folks. That's the key. You get that good follower, that might actually be an opportunity for you. You get like a dozen followers that are all like just trying to get followers, and it's a little shallow, right? So anyways, a little word of advice, just kind of doing research myself about like how we can kind of expand on this virtual world that we're kind of semi pioneering. It's been pioneered before us, but we're in a new world now. So get it. Oh, I love that like button. I love that like button. It's always kind of fun. I've been joining a lot of my favorite DJs when they go live, and what I do is with the heart button, I'm just like hitting the beat. I'm like boom, 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 and I just keep the beat going. If I don't see a heart, I put a beat, boom, boom, boom. So I can get recognized, maybe. Maybe they might look back and they'd be like, wow, Marcoux Pictures, they were hitting the beat every time on J. Rue the Damaja's live, or oh, check out J. Rue the Damaja. Oh, he's massive, right? Way beyond these like crazy characters that nowadays. Woo! I don't know if you guys heard the guy, what's his name? Uh, wannabe wannabe 9 or whatever. Oh boy. Oh boy, his stuff is offensive to me. I don't know. It was like that hook from that song before he went in jail that was he dropped the R bomb. He dropped the R bomb in his hook, right? And that just offends me straight up. I hate the R word. It's like super offensive. My brother-in-law has Down syndrome and I can't stand it. It's just it's like a tick for me, right? So when I heard that song, I was like, this guy needs to go. And not to mention, he was just kind of like copying other stuff that I'd seen before. You know, he copied one of my old, not a favorite artist, but I like him, Little John. He seemed to me he was stealing Little John's style, the crunk style back in the early OOs. So it's interesting to me that he's so popular now, but I hear he's like going from spot to spot now. You know, you can't talk smack and get away with it that easy. Oh, time for a sip of coffee. Coffee's cold. That's all right. But yo, I'm really excited that you guys are all joining. I'm really looking forward to your real distant recipes and clue. For those who have joined me today, you get a sneak preview of the new assignment. Yeah. You ready for it? You ready for it, Oscar? Your story is always full of garbage. Hey, chill. He's just not really nice this morning. He has a terrible mood in the morning, but I was about to drop the new kind of assignment that, you know, if you're ahead of the game, wow, you got a chance right now. If you're looking at the YouTube, you're seeing the Graduate Together. I'm spotting out there. Yo, CBS, Fox, NBC, all the nationals, ABC, Barack Obama. Oh, and XQ is a super school. Oh, we are awesome. You are awesome. The artistic mindset is flourishing and strong. Oh boy. But the new assignment. What about that new assignment, Marcoux? What is it? What could I do? What could you possibly come up with this time? Well, the new assignment for all you overachievers. And remember, all these things, you know, just take your pace at it. Decide which real distant concentration project works for you. I would like to see them all, but I would love to see one really powerful quantity over quality, I will say. But yo, the real assignment is. Hold on, I need a coffee. If you have any code switches of the day, let me know. I hate binge watching. Binge watching is a terrible term for our beautiful art form. I said my, but it is our beautiful art form. You know, we should be watching media marathons. We should be having full-fledged film feasts, you know, quadruple Fs or something, which needs its own code switch. But, you know, let's break that paradigm. Let's get beyond binge watching. If someone says, "Oh, I'm going to binge watch something," call them out. Be like, "Yo, not binge watching. Don't call them out." I mean, I hate shaming. I feel like we're in a big shaming civil war right now online. Everyone's shaming everybody for just about everything. Yo, it's a crazy shaming civil war out on the web. Technical difficulties. Let me get a sip of coffee. Not any warmer. Not any warmer. The coffee's not getting warmer on its own. But yo, yeah, shout out to the Graduate Together. And oh, I heard you guys want to hear about that new assignment. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do. Shout out to the real Ray. Shout out to the real Alec. Shout out to EDC. I've been watching their virtual rays. They're pretty souping. Shout out to the real official Purple Step. Follow him on IG. Shout out to yo Envy getting that census video in. Shout out to Fromlism. Shout out to blank people like looking at blank screens. Not blank over here. I got one viewer. What? One viewer on the IG, probably a dozen on the YouTube that aren't chatting. That's okay. That's okay. I appreciate you anyways. Yo, shout out to the real Noel Para. Yo, shout out to Pat F. Yo, shout out to Pat F. Yo, shout out to USET. Shout out to the real USET. Shout out to the real Alec. Shout out to the real Matthew. Shout out to the real Diana. I got shout outs for days, guys. Shout out to. No. Yo, shout out to the real Matthew. Let's go into his recipe. Oh, bejeez. Yo. warm in my heart with that bacon. Yo, call Sousa. Call Sousa. Real Matthew's got something for you, bro. He's got it. He's got it. You are gonna love this, Sousa. Oh boy. Good. Good. I got a comment from you said he was saying, I think that bacon's a little burnt. I kind of like my bacon crispy, but I think we need to have like a cooking contest online or something with some of these recipes. We should totally do a cooking show challenge or something. Maybe we can all like try to fry up our best breakfast and see who's got the champion, who can actually smell the enticing smells of bacon or vegetables or vegan breakfast or whatever, and who's going to be the ultimate recipe champion. Who knows? But I love breakfast. I was a breakfast cook for many years while I was in college. I never got to like go out and have a good time at night because I was always waking up to do my breakfast cook job to keep myself functioning and in a livable apartment while I was at college. But yo, shout out to bacon, shout out to avocado, shout out to tomato, shout out to toast, shout out to eggs over easy, shout out to over easy, shout out to yolk. Oh, shout out to dipping the yolk. Oh, shout out to dipping the yolk. Oh, I love yolk with bacon. Yummy. Yummy, yum, 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 yum. Shout out to the real you set. He was cooking up some pork chops. Oh, man, that looked so good. So good. Oh, so tasty. Wonderful. Yo, shout out, shout out, shout out. Oh, you guys want to hear that new assignment, maybe? Yeah? 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 Well, there was the real distant countdown. Here's a moon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I did a moon and then I like tracked it with a title tool years ago and changed up the number so it was a real countdown, right? Here's another countdown, real distant countdown. This is my favorite, one of my favorite pieces to date. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Getting really abstract with the shadow puppets over a overcast day reflection on the water. Me and my daughter were just playing shadow puppets and we came out with that real distant countdown. Really fun piece that we did right there. There's the real definition stuff. Maybe I should show you that stuff. I don't know. I could show you a little bit. I did one. It was the real distant concentration. It was a definition of concentration, I believe. Let's see if I can find that piece. Oh, real distant recipe from Lism. Check it out. Recipe for editing. It's kind of cool. I've been seeing a lot of timelines getting stretched and zoomed into. Understanding your timeline is very important. Being able to zoom in, being able to mix and manage with editors. And I find that this is a great time to practice that stuff because honestly, if you know how to edit, you can work with any program, right? Any program. Yo, yeah, shout out to you, the real Matthew. That was so tasty. I recommend watching All Day and All Night on Netflix. Okay, All Day and All Night. I'm gonna watch that. Thanks for the recommendation. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to review and check out for you. Yo, seniors, I'm gonna be sending you guys some stuff. Gonna be sending you guys some Ray's rough cut for you guys to watch that and critique it. Just so you know. I don't know if you're watching, but whatever. Yeah, so it's cool to see timelines. It's cool to see bacon. It's cool to see killing two birds with one stone.
Hi, I'm Alec, and today I'm going to show you a recipe on how to kill two birds with one stone. It works every time, but you're going to need a few things. First of all, you're going to need to be me. So this recipe is not for everyone. If you're not me, don't try it. Second, you're going to need to be in Mr. Lee's math class, and you're about to see why. So this is why you're going to want to be in Mr. Lee's math class, because if you open today's assignment, you will see that he wants you to take the STAR test, and I'm about to fill in my credentials and take the test. Okay, as you can see, I have now completed the STAR test, and by completing the STAR test, I've shown you how to kill two birds with one stone because I finished my math and film work.
I like Larry David. That's some good stuff. If you find that on Roku, those are some fun episodes. Very inappropriate, but he's hilarious. He co-wrote Seinfeld, which is a phenomenal show. Oh yeah, that new assignment. What did you guys want on that new assignment? Well, let me tell you, you know, it can be pretty much anything you want. I'd love to see some new real distant whatevers. I want to see you guys invent some, but I'm playing right now on the background the real amazing walkout from school when you guys were protesting guns. And I think it's a very important cause that you guys are fighting for. And I always love to see you guys walk out and use your courage of conviction to fight for what's right for you. Use your perspective, get it out there, use your voice. It's harder to get your rights back than to just let them get taken away. That's very easy for just to let them take away rights. So always stand up for yourself, always have courage and conviction. And when you capture your subject, if you're having trouble capturing your subject, Frank Capra says get a little closer, and that could mean getting physically closer or emotionally closer. Closer. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, you want to get emotionally close, you want to get physically close, you want to take different angles. And I made this a photography option, also a video option, a 10-second video, a 10-second video. It is the real distant portrait. The real distant portrait, right? This can be a real distant self-portrait, and you can decide to hashtag which one you want, right? A real distant self-portrait, capture yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be like your face. It doesn't necessarily have to be you. Maybe it's just something that represents you. Maybe Viking dude represents me. I feel like I am part Viking, right? I feel like I'm part pet part Neanderthal or something. That's what I was about to say. But you could also say, oh, this is my shadow. Oh, this is us protesting. This is my subject. That's a portrait of a protest, right? You could say, oh, this is a portrait of my iPhone. You could say, oh, this is a portrait of me gaming, right? Give me a portrait, a real distant portrait. You should, at this point, be thinking about what your concentration is, bringing together a style or a concept with, hey, what's up, Kevin? So, new assignment, the real distant portrait, capturing your portrait, capturing a subject and getting close to them, right? Understanding like what it is that emotes that particular subject, right? Your portrait doesn't necessarily have to be personified or a person or an actual picture of your face. It could be that you're taking a picture of perhaps your hat. Maybe your hat represents you. Yo, shout out to Rhode Island Film TV Office. Shout out to Steve Feinberg. Shout out to Sherry Brown. Shout out to Maggie Anderson. Shout out to the whole Mike Ryan motif. Shout out to all those cats. You guys are phenomenal. Shout out to the Katie Reeves. Yo, shout out to Pat Hawkridge. Shout out to the Hawk. Yo, shout out to you, Hawk. Yo. Yeah, representing. Shout out, Gimme Five. Gimme Five. We managed to get down some wonderful film labs. Shout out to all my Gimme Five coaches. You guys were phenomenal. That's why you got paid. That's right. We pay our coaches out here. And put that on your resume. I will give you a recommendation. All my film majors, I'll give you a recommendation. For sure. But, if you do something like coaching or something like that, gives me something to talk about, recommend about. Be like, oh man, the real Kate and the real Matthew did some phenomenal work as coaches. Oh, you guys are killer. Killer. Sorry, I don't mean to get all violent and stuff like that, but I was very impressed with your work. Yo, shout out to Karst. Yo, Karst, where are you? Yo, Karst, give me my money, Karst. All right, shout out to Tappa Film. Shout out to Tappa. Shout out to, Karst again. Shout out to George Malaise. Shout out to Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, I hate having blank screens. Blank screens are terrible. And you notice in some of my critiques, sometimes I may say, oh, I saw a black frame, or I saw a blank frame. Try to avoid that because oftentimes most viewers will be like, oh, it's broken, and they'll change channels, right? We vote with our remote. Vote with your remote. If you don't like something, don't watch it. It's where the internet tricks you all the time. And if you notice your Facebook algorithms, oftentimes in your feed, it shows you stuff you hate. So stop clicking on it. Stop looking at it. If it ticks you off, whoop, scroll, right? The stuff you want to see, like it. The stuff you want to see, watch it for a while. Look at it. And I hope the algorithm would change. But yeah, things tick you off. Vote with your remote, okay? Avoid that stuff. I heard there's a great protest going on about spending money, right? You vote with your dollar too. Don't spend your money on things that you want to avoid. That's how we change the world. Unfortunately, money's power right now. I think that's changing because we're figuring out that, money's not making the world go round right now. Not right now, right? Dollar transition. What are you going to do? What's up, Oscar? I'm getting angry over here. Mr. Viking dude is taking up all of my room on this TV screen. It's not a TV screen, it's an interslice screen. Well, I'm not crazy about it. Hey, I was first. Yeah, well, you're in my way. Well, I think Mr. Marcoux likes me a lot more. I do. He's a lot kinder to everybody, and he's less abrasive. And frankly, you're not getting the ratings that I want, Mr. Oscar. All right, sorry. Yeah, he's got to work on his routine. It's not as hilarious as it used to be. He's got to, go somewhere. So yeah, real distant recipe. Here's one from the real Ray. Ideas. This is the recipe of creating a film, right? Ideas. Research. Get your camera. Audio. Narration. Edit. I love this concentration. And then display. Get it out there, right? So, pre-production, right? Storyboards, screenplays, teleplays, voiceovers, whatever, right? Research. Look it up. See what's been done before you. Maybe even do your research beforehand a little bit as well, right? It's kind of like a back and forth. Make some stuff, look at stuff, make some stuff, look at stuff, analyze, reformulate, produce, right? And then get your gear together. What do you got? Best camera you got is what's in your pocket. That's what I would recommend. Content passes you by. You were trying to get a better camera, content passed you by. You got a camera in your pocket, take that content now. It's going to be gone, okay? So content is queen, folks. And yeah, audio narration. Audio is 90% of the experience. Make sure you have some audio or create something that's silent. Silent films are great. Our first films that were in film history were silent films. Work with that. Guys, we're 29 minutes in, folks. 29, whatever. And it's been a better show than yesterday. Yesterday was quite a boring show. Too much talking. What are you going to do? But I talk. And yeah, I want to see you guys building up some work because I would like to have some virtual showcases. Look forward to the senior show June 11th. It's probably going to be a prime time show, most likely around 8 o'clock. So I hope to see all you guys there. I'm going to try to simulcast it many ways. So it'll definitely be on the Tapastars YouTube channel. But I'm going to see if I can get it on IG. I'm going to see if I can get it on Facebook. I'm going to see if I can get it everywhere. So we have a bunch of watch parties going. And we can look back at this time capsule and say, oh, what a virtual happening that was. But it requires innovative work, exquisite corpses that perhaps you guys are formulating. I really strongly suggest virtual collaboration. I've yet to see some really phenomenal, I see phenomenal work all the time, but let's see some virtual collaboration. Maybe you're probably already virtually collaborating. I noticed TST with the shout out to TST with the Purple Step. They're collaborating in the gaming world. That's collaboration, bro. So find a way to display it or showcase it. I've been seeing a little bit of that. I look forward to seeing like new innovative ways of showcasing that fact. So yeah, yo, shout out to the Real You set. Shout out to the Real You set. You got great work. Shout out to Lil Jon. Yo, shout out to Emerson. Shout out to the 185 Project graduating Emerson film major. You're unstoppable, bro. You did it. Lil Jon loves you, and so do I. That's me. Yep, Bandito. What are you gonna do? All All right, so yeah, we got some stars up here. We got all kinds of stuff up here. Um, I like jamming out the stuff, but I don't want to get any copyright flags, so I'm going to avoid that. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll show, because I know, Real Matthew, you had a real landscape, and actually, one of the concentration, just in the future, there's a landscape one too. Who knew? This is all for you guys that are tuning in, because you tune in, you get the secret sauce to what's going forward in these projects. So, yeah, let's watch this one. I like the landscape. This is my daughter Juna about 2 years ago. Oh, it's muted. Oh, you know why it's muted? Because I exported and it was muted, but we can watch it muted. So landscape. So this is in my backyard, and my daughter's just kind of like going through the garden and picking at things and kind of doing her research of the landscape. And it's a really kind of close vibe. You know, I was focusing on color grading. So you notice this color grade is a bit monochromatic in a way. It's very dulled out, and I wanted that on purpose. So I was playing around with more flat colors, more less saturated colors to try to capture kind of eerie feeling. And she's kind of picking away. We're seeing her perspective of the landscape. And that's what I was trying to capture. So she's like kind of picking at these shells full of seeds. What a beautiful daughter she is. I love her to death. And I was playing around a little bit with the color grade, putting some blues in the shadows and muting the saturation in the midtones. So it captures that kind of pseudo sepia look. Sepia being like a brownish black and white. So, oh yeah, I'll share with you guys the Real Distant Recipe, one of my favorites. Shout out to High Proof Films. Shout out to the real Kelly Riley, magnificent filmmaker. We collaborated on a documentary. So I took a couple little bits from that, put them in slow motion, and then I did some experimenting on my own. So I found that this was an interesting little piece of visual poetry. And that's what we should be thinking about, creating visual poetry. Different kind of films, not your standard kind of stories. Emoting, time-based artwork, moving paintings. Let's see galleries with moving paintings. Oh, again, this is the silent one. Here, I'll put the one that has the sound on it. I could probably play it on This is neat. We have like multi-simulcast stream. I have it going on two different things. I'm gonna mute it over here, but kind of neat when we can like play it back in the IG and on the YouTube at the same time. But it's kind of like remixing, you know. We're seeing these reels go around, and I was treating these mason jars kind of like reels as well. And I was following focus through them, playing around with color grade, making a little unconventional color grade to give it kind of like this eerie type of feeling. And I feel like it really speaks to today, like us trapped in these jars, kind of like seeing each other, but not being able to contact one another. And it's like kind of this space and time that we're going to exist in, perhaps forever, in some stream on the fifth dimension that is time. So, well, I think the fourth dimension's time, fifth dimension, who knows? Bunch of time stacked up like a big cube of time. Who knows? Things are too oftentimes put in a box. Cube is a little weird. I like to break the square. Let's break this square. Breaking the square, folks. It's another interesting topic. Shout out to the real Spencer Russell Lewis. Fantastic painter. One of my collaborators back in college. Fantastic dude. If you want to see some abstract painting, go check out the Spencer Russell Lewis. He's fantastic. Yeah, few this morning. Shout out to the real Jovan. Shout out to Art History. Shout out to Art History. Shout out to Art History. Shout out to A Magic Lantern. right? You can check out my storyboards and my highlights on my IG profile if you're looking for creating a bigger story, because I'm definitely plotting some bigger stories that are going to happen over the summer. That is for sure. I talked to my boy 185 Project. There's some collaboration gonna happen. No doubt about that. Whether it has to happen virtually or physically, it's gonna go down. So yeah. Yeah, make sure you guys get psyched up for May 16th. Barack Obama. That's going to be a fantastic show. Hopefully Tappa gets showcased in a major way. Shout out to Kalia. Shout out to the real Kalia. Nice 5 count. Throw some other stuff up here. Whoa. Yeah, I really like that countdown. Show there's some other stuff. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this guy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I was talking about portraits, We got all kinds of portraits we can do. Let's see. Oh my goodness, look at these portraits. Ah! That's scary. Portrait of you on the moon. That was a neat little app. Oh, portraits for days, folks. You can use some of these cheesy filters and break them and try to do different things with them. That's always fun. Had this that I threw up on my latest tease. I was also playing with like a predator look. I thought that was kind of neat. Neat way to make a self-portrait. Self-portraits, right? Take these things and break them. Bring them into one filter, then bring it into another app and try to mess around with it, right? You can make some phenomenal portrait looks. I find that this is an interesting portrait. The blank body, that is the broken algorithm of this filter looking at an iPhone. So normally this would map you that was selfie style in the filter, but I found a moment when it glitched out. So I thought that was more interesting than me in the filter. There's me in the filter. There's me not in the filter, right? So I thought that was pretty fascinating and also spoke a little bit to the emptiness we feel inside when we're looking at our iPhones, like without this physical connection. It kind of like speaks wealth of truth. Happy Mother's Day. That's Ruthie. She worked in the Polaroid factory. The first Polaroid that ever existed was created out in Massachusetts. And Ruthie worked in the Polaroid factory, and she was so beautiful. She was oftentimes a subject. But yeah, she worked. She worked hard in there. She wasn't just a model. She was working in that photo process. So shout out to the really Ruthie Belanger. Shout out. We miss you. Yeah, your portrait could be, oh, do you find yourself in a video game? Well, show us. I would love to see that. I think this is happening a lot more than we think. They're probably looking at pictures of us and using them as muses for digital characters such as Karst. And that's an interesting topic. You can look at some of the old episodes where we talk about copyright and fair use of your likeness. Yo, turn of the century stuff, man. Like film cameras came out as New York City was being built, and you had crazy dudes like this out there hanging off a strap, filming stuff. That's where we are right now. What's our strap? What's our digital strap to help capture this event, this time, this epic period of time, this quarantine-ism? Is that the movement, quarantine-ism? I don't know, but it's some kind of movement. It's changing the way we devour media. Shout out to Astro Boy. Shout out to Astro Boy. I was watching Astro Boy. He saves babies. He fights weird things. He's pretty cool. And he was one of anime history. That's some of my early templates for designing that poster that I did for the virtual rave for EDC. So, look up contests online. You can find some stuff to really keep you engaged. And maybe you'd win a little bit of money or something like that. Still waiting to hear back about that contest, but it was a lot of fun to do. I thought this was interesting. The three-dimensional television from JVC in the 70s. Who knew? The 70s, right? Now we're doing it back in the day. I had my old art teacher, not old, oh my gosh, I keep calling you old. He's not old. He's my old art teacher from 7th grade. He told me, oh yeah, I love this piece that you made, Marcoux. You should submit it to a juried art show. And I think I will. I'm just looking up juried art shows because there's not many right now. But yeah, I'm going to print this out, I believe, and get it out there. So we'll see what goes on with that. Yo, but you gotta love that portrait. There's a portrait if you ever saw one, right? Yeah. Take a picture of yourself, put it in one app, mess it up, put it in another app, mess that up, right? Create something new. Break the paradigm, break the code, break the algorithm, make something new. That's what we're all doing here on the Rail, the Rail, the Rail, the Rail, the Rail, the Rail is breaking everything. I think. Something. Yo, one more follow and I get 100. Oh man, give me one more follow. I want some more analytics. Yeah, but I just kind of like took some of these pictures and I just blended them up. Blended them up, bro. Yo, shout out to all you folks out there. Yeah, these things the same thing. Used IG layout, mixed it up with some Adobe Sketch. Same thing over here. And I had two different versions, one with more texture that was like kind of filmed off the asphalt, and then this is without that asphalt picture in the background. So decide what you like best. Let me know what you like best. I kind of like them both for different reasons, but it's really capturing that isolation, that eye meets screen kind of feel, right? Yeah. But yeah, I probably should cut it a little short because, you guys are probably tired of listening to me, and that's fine. But yeah, we'll keep that eyeball thing in the corner right here while we close it out. If you guys have any questions or requests, please let me know. I'm not trying to drop bars anymore because I stink. But, I really appreciate you guys today. It was a really awesome turnout. Shout out to 185 Project. Shout out. Oh, shout out to Nadu. Those care packages have been going out. Shout out to Nadu. She's been putting these things together on her own, and with collaboration, of course, from Tappa staff and community. But yeah, but sending out these care packages. This is from the real Alec, and it's a really nice thing to get during this time, to get some snacks. We're chilling out in our homes, and nothing beats a good snack here and there. Just don't snack too much. It's like constant trips to the fridge. My daughters are like devouring me out of house and home because there it is, the fridge. The fridge is like our staple here. Oh, it's my eye now. What do you got to say, Oscar? This is a terrible show because I wasn't involved, and this guy's taking my space, and I'm kind of upset, and I don't know how I feel about all this. I'm getting a little bit emotional. I just don't feel loved. Oh, gotta do a little emotional support for Oscar later on today. We're gonna get to that. I mean, he's made of like gold plastic, so I don't, I'm a little bit precocious about giving him too much attention because I think my daughters need it more. But yo, whoa. For all you guys that stuck around, you get to see wet Marcoux. I'm sorry. Blah, blah. It's playing slow motion. Way too loud on the YouTube, but it's kind of funny. Yo. Well, we're 44 minutes in, folks. This has been a long show. I apologize for that. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, please DM me, send emails, get me on IG, get me on YouTube, get me on Google Classroom. It doesn't matter, but get to me. And if I respond, please respond back. That's helps. And I look forward to seeing your work. I want to do some more virtual crits. So virtual crits have been a little light. Let's pick that pace up, and let's blossom into a fantastic virtual streamer show. Yo, let's get it out there. And again, let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback. I love feedback. I love critique. And I have a tough skin, so I can take it with a grain of salt. You can even tell me, Mr. Marcoux, you stink big stinkers. And I will sniff what you're talking about and try to adjust. That came out very strange, but that's okay because that's who I am. Very strange. Yo, emote your truth. Put your truth out there. Take risks. Let people get offended every now and then. It's okay. Forgiveness is a thing. Something we should all think about a little bit more in this world. Watch out in that virtual civil war that's going on. Oh my gosh. Make sure you're on the right side. That's right. Forgiveness is a thing, folks. Ooh, getting a little spacey. That's all right. Sip of coffee. Call it quits on the stream. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Ninth graders, look forward to your work. Get it out there. New assignment, real distant portrait, real distant self-portrait, real distant fill in the blank. Give me a real distant, something new. I'll count that instead of something you're missing. But grades are coming to a close this week, so let's get something in there, all right, folks? Hey, peace. I'm going to get to work with my girls on their distant learning, and we all should too. I know you guys are all helping your families out. And shout out to you, Tappa. Shout out to Tappa Film. You're solid. I can't wait to see you. And yo, that's all right. We got that energy.